Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Motherless Brooklyn. In 1950s New York, Lionel Esrog, a lonely private detective with an affliction, ventures to solve the murder of his mentor and only friend, Frank Minna. Armed only with a few clues and the powerful engine of his obsessive mind, Lionel unravels closely guarded secrets that hold the fate of the whole city in the balance. This is a 2019 film. It is rated R. It runs 2 hours and 25 minutes, kind of long, and it stars all these people: Edward Norton, Bruce Willis, Juju Mabatha Raw, and Bobby Cannavale, and Cherry Jones, Alec Baldwin, and William Dafoe. This is Motherless Brooklyn. Think about all those good mysteries you like. I always mention the Oceans movies. Um, this kind of follows the same pattern of having the movie give you a dilemma, having about an hour to an hour and a half of story and trying to figure out certain things one at a time. And then it has the big, reveal at the end. And it kind of explains everything that you've been confused about along the way. And these are always smart movies. I can take movies like this every month, every week in theater. They almost never get old. So, let's talk about kind of the weaker points maybe first, because it is a good movie. Um, it does go long. It does go drawn out. There is a lot of stuff that isn't needed. It's set in the 1950s, so some of the ways they act and some of the ways that they have things in this movie are how they were back then. And it kind of is insulting to the intelligence a little bit, even though it's trying to stay authentic. There are some things like that, and the even the concept of this movie really, people just walking around following each other, kind of seems like a kind of an old way of doing things. I mean, we have cameras, we have GPS, we have all this stuff nowadays that kind of takes you out of this movie a little bit because it's so set back in the 1950s where people can just walk around following each other and they don't ever get caught or anything like that they're staring at this person for 8 hours. So I'd say, if you're not into the time setting, it might take you out of the movie a little bit. And some of the stuff and some of the things, they say, um, might take you out of the movie a little bit, might be a little slow, it might be a little drawn out. But other than that, there are a lot of good things to this film. And I would say that Edward Norton knows how to play a character, and he plays that character very well. Um, this is my second Defoe movie in not that long of watching them in between each other. And people say how good he is in his roles. I think he's good in this role. I mean, I think this is one of his best performances, and he's like a very side character. I mean, you got Alec Baldwin playing probably the easiest character to play in this movie. He's just a really powerful city worker. They're trying to overblow that, but that's what it is. He's just very powerful city worker, and so he's trying to do things and he's trying to gain power. That's a good motivation. That when that came out, that's kind of his drive. I bought that very well. I'm like, that's cool that people don't really care about what else they get. It's not really about the money, it's about power. That's cool. That's a good lesson. Um, I'd like to see that in more movies. People not so hung up on the little things and giving speeches and stuff, just wanting to gain power in their position. So it's a very good story. If you don't know anything about what this movie is about, that's good. I was kind of like that way going in. I know this was in theater. I'm not really sure why I didn't go see it with all these stars in there. I just think maybe the theme of the movie being set in an olden time. I just thought maybe I'd had too many of those kind of movies recently, so maybe that's why I didn't go see it in theater. But I very much liked it. Got it from the library pretty easily, and watched it kind of later at night with the volume kind of down. And I would not mind owning this. Being able to watch it a couple more times, trying to figure out the story, trying to figure out the details, trying to figure out why they're going to talk to a certain person. It's not the easiest thing to figure out, even though it's drawn out. It does take a long time to figure out what they're up to. Edward Norton's character saying that his brain is, just confused, and it's a really vast puzzle. A couple of times that gets kind of annoying to hear because we hear it a couple of times and we're like, well, just get to it already. But other than that, we kind of take the ride with him, and it is confusing, and it does not let that much stuff go very quickly. And the ending is a surprise, and it is a good twist, and it does settle itself. It does explain things. So I think it's a complete movie, even though it's long. I think it's very well acted, even though I didn't know what to expect from it. I think it's a little disappointing, but those disappointments are bearable considering how good of a story and how good a twist there are and how much is going on. They throw so many people at us: Alec Baldwin, Willem Dafoe, Bruce Willis, and Norton, and a couple women, and they got some civil rights stuff going on, and there's just all this stuff kind of blurring you trying to figure out the main point of the story in the movie. And I think that's the best part about this, and I think it makes it really worth it. Have you seen this movie? Are you going to want to watch it? Let me know, because I think this is a very kind of different movie for people. It's hard to attach yourself and say, oh, yeah, that's my favorite movie, just because of the theme of it. It's kind of a dark, kind of long movie, and some people can't really put up with this. 2.5 hours is a long movie. It really is nowadays. So I'm gonna give Motherless Brooklyn an A minus. I think it is very well done. I think it's a very good movie with lots of talented people in it. It makes you smile. It makes you kind of cringe because of the stuff that has in it, and that's effective. And it can surprise you and make you think, and it challenges you. I think movies like this are great. I love following along with it and figuring out what it is to figure out. I thought it was a very worthwhile thing to figure out, along with maybe one or two other things. Family drama, city kind of drama, civil rights issues, all that included, I think makes for a complete movie, and I can suggest you watch it if you haven't watched it already. A minus for Motherless Brooklyn. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Thanks, guys.